Hey, welcome back to another YouTube video. So we're back at Thorpe Fishery near Tamworth. This is a Summer League match. This is number 4 out of 7. So here's the lake that we're on today. I've gone and drawn peg 11. This is the worst peg, not the peg I wanted in my section. I would certainly have had one of those on the right hand side that you can see. But anyway, this is what we got, peg 11. Plan of attack today. Feeder on that island. It's probably around a 40 metres, 45 metre throw. I'll come a little bit short as well, catapulting some 8mm pellets at around 30 metres. I'll be fishing shallow as well throughout the day at 30 metres, and then I'll be coming shorter as well. I've got 6mm pellet line on my left. The other side of those reeds, I'm going to pot in some hemp throughout the day and see if I can get the carp to settle on it, and I'll be fishing sweet corn over the top of that hemp. A little bit of a throwaway line, not really tried hemp here before, but I'm going to give it a go and see if it works. And then I don't really have much of a margin, but I am going to come this side of those reeds on the right hand side, potting in some ground bait and some dead reds later in the day, and hopefully we'll be able to pick it off a few carp there. So I've tried to keep the bait tray simple, but you can see I've got quite a bit there. So on that island, on the feeder, I've got the 2mm micros. As we come shorter on the bomb line, I've got 8mm hard pellets. Obviously I'll be fishing shallow with 6mm, and then as I say, on that left hand line, pole line, I'm going to be fishing 6mm pellets. On the right hand pole line, I'm going to be fishing hemp and some sweet corn over the top. Then I've got my, what I would class as my margin, this side of the reeds, I'll be feeding ground bait and dead reds, and fishing either dead reds and sweet corn over the top. Okay, so now let's get to it, and I'll show you how the day went. So we're not long at the all in, and I've already gone out fishing shallow to kick it off. But straight after we had the all in, I did start priming the right hand line with the hemp. Hopefully we'll catch some carp on that. I've never used hemp before on this venue, so I don't know how it would work, or like I say, it's a little bit of a throwaway line, but I'm going to be potting in some hemp every 20 minutes. Also potted in some 6mm pellets on the left hand line as well. But like I say, gone straight out fishing shallow. Normal setup, 6mm pellet on a band, size 16 hook. 0.19mm diameter main line down to 0.16 hook length, diameter hook length, and fishing around 2 feet deep. Got a clunk float on, mainly because I want to be able to swing it out if I see any fish cruising around on the surface. Clunk floats are just great for that. Just slapping it in 2-3 times, making a bit of noise, hopefully to get some fish coming to the swim. Now I just saw a carp pass by on the right hand side, so I've just gone across there, moved across to the right, slapped it in a couple of times. And there we go, look, we got a take, carp turned, and we got our first carp on. About 15 minutes has passed by at this point after priming those lines and going out, and we get our first bite, first carp on. Now this didn't feel right. I wasn't getting any nodding on the carp. You can always tell when you catch a carp, you know, you get that nodding reaction of the carp. It just didn't feel 100% right. It wasn't hooked correctly. I felt like it was foul hooked, so I'm trying to take my time, but at the same time that carp was also trying to get into the swim of my neighbour on my left, so I was trying to take my time but also try and keep it.
Hey guys, hopefully you're enjoying these free videos. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please do go and subscribe to the channel. Click the subscribe button. It's free and it's easy, and it only takes about 2 seconds. It's a massive help, more than you know. Also, don't forget to drop the video a like, give it a thumbs up, and at the end of the video, if you can spare 30 seconds, please do go and leave a comment. Just let me know what you like about the video. Let me know what techniques you use. But thank you for watching. Now let's get back to the main video.
Out of his way. So a bit of a fine balancing act here of taking my time and not bully it and not pull it away too quick. But it was either foul hooked or I did pull the hook out. I'm not quite sure, but very frustrating. 15 minutes in and I've just gone and lost my first carp. So we get back out again, got a 6mm pellet on the band, and we ship out to 30 metres. Now the 2 anglers on my left had already caught 2 carp in this time, and I'd already just only had the 1 carp on, which I lost. So I'm 2 carp behind already, and around 20 minutes has passed after hooking into the first one, losing it. But it was a little bit frustrating. Now I carried on this line for about another 20 to 25 minutes. So in total around 45 minutes had passed and I still hadn't had a carp on this line. I did get a carp surface when slapping it in, but again didn't get any takes, no more carp. So I decided to switch lines, rotate lines and use the feeder rod and go out to the island on the method feeder. So on the method feeder we've got our 2mm micros and we've got a 6mm hard pellet on the band. Casting in around 40 to 45 metres. It's quite a long cast over to the island, but I've got a little bay right in front of me, so I'm just casting into that little bay, sinking the line and putting the rod down on the rest. Now I gave this line around 20-25 minutes. I had multiple casts. I was doing 5-minute casts and I had absolutely zero indications, no takes on the line, didn't even get a line bite. So again, another frustrating one. So it was just constant rotation, trying to find the carp, and I'm now going to swap lines again and rotate. So rotating lines again. Now we're going to start off on the right hand pole line, the short line on that right hand side, just to the side of those reeds. It's around 6 meters. And depth wise it was quite deep. It was probably close to 5 foot there, but I wanted to give that a go with some hemp, pot full of hemp there and a few pieces of corn, and then just going to top up some 6mm pellets on the left hand short pole line. Again, similar sort of distance and depth on my left hand side with and just putting in some 6mm on that line. And the plan now was to rotate these two lines and see if I could pick off a carp. The chances are if I got carp coming on them and they're feeding, I'm going to get some indications fairly quickly. My plan is 10 minutes, no more on the right hand side, and 10 minutes or no more on the left hand side, unless I start to catch carp. So put a piece of corn on a size 14 hook. Set up here, fairly standard. Like I say, I've got around 5 foot of water. I've got a 4B, I think it was 4B14 float on, a tapered shotting pattern. Line just fairly standard 0.19mm diameter main line and 0.16 diameter hook length line. That's the sort of diameters I tend to always use when I'm fishing on for carp on the pole. I find it robust enough and absolutely more than what I need for the fish and the venues I fish at. So like I say, just fishing over the top now with corn over the top of that hemp that I've been potting in since the start. So I gave this line 10 minutes. I didn't get any indications, unfortunately, so I decided then to rotate over to my left on that 6mm hard pellet line. So rotate across there. This time I've got a 6mm hard pellet on, where over the top, fishing over the top of those 6mm pellets I've been potting in. So again, very similar. I gave this 10 minutes and pretty much the same as my right hand side. There's no indications at all. Gave it 10 minutes, so then decided to rotate again. So I did rotate onto the bomb line. I had no indications on the bomb line either. I gave that 15 minutes, absolutely nothing, no line bites at all. Then rotated back onto this 13-meter shallow line. Felt like I needed to give this a go because the other anglers were catching on this. Angler on my right hand side, you won't be able to see him, but on the right hand side he was catching quite regularly fishing shallow, and angler 2 down from me was also catching regular on this. So slapping it in 2 or 3 times. And we get our first take after going back in again, and we got a carp on. Now, about 2 hours 45 roughly had passed by this point, and this is my first fish. Second bite, second carp on, and as I will get this in, as you will see. So it is my first fish. So really frustrating day so far. those of you that have been watching my summer leagues, it hasn't been going well. I started off the year in the spring doing really well on this venue. I certainly framed a few times, and if I didn't frame in open matches, I was coming around sort of certainly around the top 6, top 7. Where in the summer on the same venue, I have really struggled. I think the draws haven't been helping, but that's certainly probably just an excuse, I guess. But not been going well, and I've been really struggling, and today is no different. So 2 hours 45 minutes in roughly, and I've now just got my first carp on, and we do get him in the net. So I took my time playing this one. I didn't want to lose it. It was going to be the first one. So there we go. We get his head up, get the net underneath, and we get him landed there. So get the hook out and we pop him in to the keep net. So we get back out again, get a 6mm pellet on the band, ship out to 13 metres. So as I'm shipping out, you'll see there I'm just checking my sections. When you're fishing shallow and you're slapping it in, the sections do come loose. So make sure that when you're in and out, you keep checking those sections, tightening them up, give them a little twist. The last thing you want is a section to come off when you're slapping it in. And losing a few sections is expensive. That's not what we want, so keep checking them. So this time I decided to pick the catapult up and start firing out some 6mm over the top, trying to get a bit of noise and also to see if I can get the carp feeding. Like I say, the angler on my right and angler 2 pegs down on my left was catching quite regularly on this technique. So I knew they were shallow. We know they're about, but it's about can I catch them in my swim. So I was just slapping it in 2-3 times. And if you watch the end of the pole, look, there we go, look, fish on, elastic shoots out, and we've got a second carp on. So about 5 minutes passed after catching that first one. So while I'm playing that, just letting that swim around, tarring it out, and just catapult some more 6mm over the top. And then bring that in. Again, it's only my second one, so I'm just going to take my time with this and play this one. I'm not going to rush it. Certainly don't want to bully it. It wasn't swimming out into my my neighbour's swim. And I've got a fly on the camera. It's starting to turn into a horror movie. So this one did take 2-3 minutes of playing it before I could get him in close enough to netting. Like I say, I didn't want to rush it, and I really just wanted, even if I was only going to catch a few fish today, I wanted to make sure the rest of them counted. It's a summer league, so it's all about points. I mean, yes, you want to come and win the whole match if you can, but it's about trying to get the points in your section. There we go, look, get his head up. And we get him netted. So my section today is from that tree on the right hand side. See that big tree on the right hand side, all the way round to my on that right hand side down to the angler on my left is my section. They are the anglers I need to try and beat today. So we get the hook out and we get him in the net. So I continued fishing shallow for about another 20 minutes. I didn't get any more takes on that line. I'd only had the 2 carp. So I'd already potted in some ground bait and some dead reds about 15 minutes or so before this, and decided now to rotate lines and come in on this, what I'd class as my margin. Just fishing at the end of those reeds there, so I just potted in some more ground bait and some dead reds and fishing some dead reds over the top. Now I carried on with this line for about 20 minutes again, and I didn't get any indications. Nothing was showing itself on this line at all. I then started rotating around my other lines, back on that feeder line by the island. Again, no indications. Came in on the bomb line, no indications, and I tried those other short pole lines as well. But this is my day. I drew a peg that just wasn't favourable on the day. There was fish swimming around, but they just didn't seem to be feeding on this peg. Like I say, I hasn't been producing throughout the summer. But that's what we get. You draw your peg and you got to try and fish what you've got in front of you. So guys, that's how the day went. Very frustrating. Unfortunately, I only had the 2 carp. I ended up weighing in 10 pounds and 15 ounces, and I actually came last in my section, so not very good. I'm not having the best of summer leagues. Please do leave a comment. Let me know how you'd have fished this a better way. Could I have done something different? But constant rotations throughout the day, and the only method really to catch them was fishing shallow. I should have just stayed on that a lot longer, and I might be now to have picked off 1 or 2 more. Guys, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It is free and it's easy and it only takes you 2 seconds. It's a massive help, more than you know. Don't forget to just drop the video a like. Also, if you can, just leave a comment. Like I say, let me know how you'd have fished it. But guys, that's how it went. Tight lines, and I'll see you on the next one.